Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Joey, why don't you say hi?
Hello. I'm playing Connor Leon. Uh, at least I won one fight on this island or country, island country, whatever. You get it.
We're 1-1.
Yeah, we're 1-1. Like,
And Travis.
I'll be playing Victor Oswald, I think his last name was. Action hero extraordinaire.
James. No, not James.
Hi, I'm Terry. I play as James Reed, nerd, archaeologist, whole thing, medic, as well as, unfortunately, having the running theme of being the protagonist in this game, and, yeah, that's a fun experience. Oh, forgot, also, just because every single time I keep remembering this, yes, I did at some point turn into a cat boy.
When you were a cat, you were not a boy.
Okay, I turned into a cat girl somehow.
Even better.
Oh!
Girl
Question it.
transformation.
And Brian.
Long time no see. Hello, I am Bry. I will be playing Bernadette Brandt, who has no idea what has been going on with these boys, and nobody plans to tell her because she needs a break.
Yeah, I think we're assuming that Bernadette has been spending some time with the other young ladies who have been cajoled, tricked, somehow convinced into joining your traveling party.
I think the only thing that we've at all informed you about is that we're going on an expedition.
So, you have briefly stopped in Darwin to investigate the Randolph Shipping Company. You went during the day, decided that the place was suspicious, went back at night, got into a fight with the drunken owner and some of his drunken friends, stole 2 crates from him, and as you made your way off into the night, you found that one of the crates contained a wooden effigy of the great Cthulhu, and the other contained a device made of rods, wheels, and mirrors, which looks something like this.
I try to take a stab at what it could be.
I believe that James has already done that. I think that's what that last roll was there.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Might have been. I don't remember.
So you make your way.
It's been a while.
You make your way back to the hotel where Birdie is staying. It's up to you whether you take Birdie into your confidence. It's also up to you whether you want to stick around in Darwin for a few days, or if you're like, hey, let's hop a ship before the cops come here.
Oh yeah, no, we're leaving right away. I think we only are staying in here for a couple days, and then which we've already done now, and then we're moving out to the site.
Okay. You are free to poke around with that device if you want to.
Is there, I guess, yeah, I'll kind of mess with it, or if Victor wants to mess with it a little bit. Outside of knowing what it does, what does it... I guess, what is it kind of like looking into? It looks like there's a scope looking into some kind of like little pan.
Yeah, when you look into the lens, You're just kind of seeing the inside of the device. You're just seeing some brass inside of there. You can tell that this is sort of a machine that can be turned on, but it's not immediately clear to you how you would do that.
Well, if it's not too big, I'll probably end up just either having it in some kind of a bag that we'll just keep off to the side for personal belongings that we could possibly use as for our little group as like maybe research.
Okay. You have only one person with you who really understands machines, so I think you'll want to talk to Connor if you want to investigate it at some point.
Yep. Probably already or showed it to him. Probably opened the box with him there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
If you want to take a shot at it.
yeah, that doohickey majigger. That's what was the check for the I can't remember, gyroscopic thing.
Yeah, this. Okay, it is interesting that you bring that up. This is not. This does not have a gyroscope in it.
Oh.
So there is weird science going on here in multiple locations. If you want to figure out how to activate this device, it looks very alien, but it was clearly made by people here. So it would be a mechanical repair roll to see if you can figure out how to turn it on. It would be a hard mechanical repair roll.
That'd be a Joey thing.
Yep.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. Oh,
wow.
no, not at all.
Wow.
I saw that 4 and I was like, oh, and then I saw the
You are supposed to get a bonus die.
Oh, I was?
Yes, because of your handy talent.
Handy, that's right. I have handy.
So just roll a d10 and we'll see if it comes out any better. I love when you get the exact same result on both of them. It's amazing. So yeah, you mess around with it for a while. You don't break it. You didn't botch. But you cannot, like, you twist a few of the gears. You can't figure out how this thing activates.
Either this thing is just an art piece or I'm too stupid to figure this out.
I mean, I wouldn't say too stupid. It's just too alien.
Yeah. But no, that's
Yeah.
Connor's take.
It was made by people right here and now, but the design is not something that people here and now could have come up with on their own.
Yeah, it's way too modern. Now modern. Kind
Oh
of
no.
thing.
Much like we couldn't make something like this. It's
Oh.
weird science. It's not like advanced science, it's weird science.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah. So, you've spent some time working on this device. You determined that you're going to need something additional to help you figure it out if you ever come back to it at all. Between it and the effigy, it's clear that the Randolph Shipping Company was involved in some unsavory things.
Weren't they smugglers?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think that to Connor, just smuggling would be considered unsavory.
I've done a lot of unsavory things in my time.
So,
Connor had a life before this.
if you are finished up here, you can make excuses to Bertie about why you gotta go. And a couple of days later, you will sail from Darwin in Northern Australia to Port Hedland in Western Australia. This is a very small town. Its non-Aboriginal population is 303. But it has a large harbor, a natural anchorage harbor. This is the port facility for a small railroad, which winds back into the country. And there have been rich deposits of gold found among the hills. Professor Dodge can tell you that the richest mines are found at the Railhead Concudgery, 150 miles southeast of the port. And as far as he is aware, that is going to be the best place to get, to really stock up on the gear you're going to need to head into the desert. This is also where Robert Mackenzie lives. Robert Mackenzie, of course, is a friend of McWhirr, the man who actually found the ruins out in the desert, and the executor of his estate after McWhirr was unfortunately killed. So, Professor Cowles has a letter of introduction that he gave you to meet with people that he knows in Australia. McWhirr is one of his acquaintances.
Yeah.
Dr. Dodge does not know him personally, but has read the diary, same as you, and looked up information on the man. He says he might know something interesting for you, but it's up to you whether you're going to take time to meet with him or not.
I'll go meet with him. Doesn't hurt. Who wants to go with me?
I'll go. No one else.
More the merrier.
Split the party?
Yeah, more Connor and Victor time. That's what the world needs.
Yeah, we can go shopping.
Do you have something better to do?
I don't think so.
No, we don't. I'm joking around. Let's all join up.
All right.
Some group RP would be good. We've been splitting up way too much lately.
I am just putting your tokens down on the map before I load you into it. Can everybody see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I should bring Dr. Dodge with you as well, just because he is likely to do that.
Yep.
He'll answer your knock on the door. We can, you can make the normal pleasantries, explain, Professor Cowles, and he'll shake your hand, let you know that was Dr. Cowles is a good friend of his. He'll bring you inside to see what you want to discuss. We can skip over all the stuff that's normally just the same and not very interesting to go over. And you can let me know where you want to begin.
I guess we'll get over all the details about how, kind of like leading up to this point, and ask if there's either one, if he wants to kind of join us and help us with our expedition, or if there's any information he might be able to give us to help us with our expedition.
I'll tell you, yeah, you know, a few years ago, McQuarrie and I intended to go out and survey his discovery, but he died of influenza, unfortunately, before we had the opportunity, and the war kind of stalled out. Nobody ever went out there, as far as I'm aware. I'd love to go, but I'm afraid I'm very busy right now. I have a lot of professional responsibilities around this area, and I can't really head off into the desert to pursue my own interests. But I can tell you exactly where he made his discovery. 22 degrees, 3 minutes, 14 seconds south, by 125 degrees, 0 minutes and 39 seconds east. He was a precise man.
Gotcha. While he's saying that, I'll go and make sure I already have, or I'll grab my notepad and just already start jotting it down, just confirming that those were the exact numbers he said.
Yep, this is you had a general location before. He's giving you exact coordinates.
Gotcha.
He says, I have kept the coordinates a secret. I've just never had the time, or really, you know, since McQuarrie died, I've never had the inclination to go out there myself. You know, you're not the first to come talk to me about this. There was an American name of Mr. Houston who came to see me 2 or 3 years ago, asking about Arthur's photographs and notes. He didn't say how he'd come across the material, but I lent him some of it, and the fellow disappeared. It's pretty damned inconsiderate.
Well, promise not to do that to you, and if we do find anything, we will let you know.
Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot left to offer you here. Have you shown him that you have the diary? So say between that and the 4 plates, that's really all that I have left.
Plates?
Yeah, he's talking about the glass slides that form a part of Dr. Cowles' lecture. Each of them show some sweating men standing beside enormous blocks of stone, pitted and eroded, but clearly dressed and formed for architectural purposes. There are dim carvings on some of them, but billows of sand everywhere.
Gotcha. That name that he said earlier, have I all heard of that name? Do I recognize it at all?
Which name do you mean?
The person, the American that came and visited him earlier before we
no, you don't know a Mr. Houston. It's possible that it's an alias of some sort.
Would I know of a... No. I guess if the next question I would ask him is, the person who visited 3 years ago, did they have a team, or were they just a lone solo like researchers.
I would expect that he had a team of some sort, but he was the only one I ever met. And he was, I realized after he disappeared with my belongings here that he never really told me how he came to learn about McWhirr. I had an impression that he was a friend of Arthur's, but I don't think he actually said that. I think I was a little too trusting with him. Clearly I was a little too trusting with him. But I can help you make arrangements, even if I can't accompany you. I can call ahead to Concudgery and arrange for some trucks.
We would appreciate that, actually. That'd be a great help.
This has been, like I said, I've never found the time to head out myself, but I've always been curious. So if you're able to learn something more, I'd very much like to know what you do find out.
Like I said, whatever we find, if we do find anything, we'll try and make sure we at least have someone inform you.
Wonderful. I expect you'll be coming back through Concudgery.
Oh yeah, most likely.
You and Port Hedland. It's you understand you're going to be heading out into the trackless desert.
Yep.
And heading in any direction but back towards the coast, you're almost certain to die. There is no civilization further in. The Aborigines don't just live out in the middle of the desert. Nobody lives out there. So if this is not something that you've done before regularly, I just want to make sure that you're proceeding with caution.
Luckily for at least my friends here, it's not our first time doing something like this.
Excellent. There is a railway that runs from Port Hedland to Concudgery. They only run one freight train daily. I'm afraid you missed today's, but you would be welcome to stay the night here, and head out on the next train tomorrow.
We'll get the rest of the party.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Wonderful. I don't have guests often out here, but I have a few hobbies. Amongst them is some home brewing. Not sure if you'd be interested in trying some Australian beer.
I'm always down.
I'm more than willing to try some.
I'll actually chime in and say we actually have someone who actually kind of is a little more on has more expertise in that area.
Oh,
At
wonderful.
least in brewing.
He's gonna look at Connor.
Oh.
Yes.
He's looking expectantly
I-
at you.
I myself run a rather illicit company back in the States.
Oh, that's right. You all made it illegal a few years ago, didn't you?
Unfortunately.
Damned foolish, if you ask me.
Ah, damn shame, but really good for business.
Oh, wonderful business.
You think we would be making as much of a killing if it was legal?
Oh, we've got some criminals in here, do we?
Oh. Yes.
Criminals,
absolutely.
entrepreneurs. Depends on
Promise
your
you
definition.
won't tell anybody.
Well, you've come to the right country for that.
Maybe if things don't turn out well at home, we can come out here.
there is plenty of room to expand out here. And lots of thirsty men.
I can imagine.
He's going to start handing out some home-brewed and, self-corked bottles of Pilsner. And I'm going to say it is decent. It's not, it's not skunked. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing particularly impressive. This is very amateur brewing operations.
Birdie is very politely going to offer him a couple of tips and tricks.
Wonderful. Yeah, he'll take notes. You can see that he has bookshelves. A number of the shelves are are actually filled with meticulously labeled notebooks of his mining surveys and records of running operations. So he is a very detail-oriented man.
Then the James respects.
Might have myself a decent competitor soon.
Is there anything else you're interested in doing tonight? Or are we going to assume that you all sit around drinking and talking until you drift off to bed?
Did anyone ask more about the last person who came by talking about him?
I already did.
Okay.
You can press harder on it if
not...
you want. He doesn't have a whole lot of information. James, you were asking if you knew a Mr. Houston. You can make an idea roll if you're really focusing on that.
Yeah. How do I make an idea roll?
Idea is just intelligence.
Intelligence?
Just roll straight intelligence. Okay. With that, I'm going to say, after giving it some thought, it occurs to you, Houston is not that far removed from Houston. Robert Houston was one of the men who went on the Carlisle expedition.
I'm pretty sure with James's memory, he'll at least he'll remember at least kind of how he looked, and will ask if he had all looked the same as the guy that visited.
Oh, you actually had you found a photo of the party, which you most likely still have. Yeah.
I'm gonna actually go and just kind of, as I'm drinking, go and say, just kind of stop and just say the name a couple more times to myself and say, wait a minute. And I'll grab the photo and I'll just say, hey. Camera, come on. There we go. And say, hey, did he look like this guy right here?
Yeah, he'll get his glasses and put them on, lean in and look at the photo, and he say, damn it, that's the man there. You know the thief, do you?
The Carlisle expedition?
I don't know it. Is that something I should be aware of?
I will give him some of the bare bone details of the expedition.
Okay.
And what happened kind of to them. Or at least I'll go and do the little what happened to them. There was not exactly full evidence other than that there were a bunch of massacred bodies.
Yeah, you have at this point confirmed that they were not actually massacred.
Mm-hmm. But the rest of the world, of course, does not know.
Correct. So he'll listen to your story, and that is going to help fuel the night of drinking and talking. He finds it fascinating and confusing. He's not entirely sure why anybody would do that, but he'll tell you that there are strange stories people tell about magic off in the desert here too, and he's never seen any cause to believe it, but lots of people around the world seem to believe these crazy things, and he supposes that rich men from New York aren't immune to it.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't think anyone's immune to it.
There were... I didn't see any evidence of it myself, but you are aware of those stories about that sandbat cult, correct?
Yes.
Just be cautious, I suppose. I don't expect you'll run into anything, but a lot of the native peoples of this land aren't happy that we're here still. And whether they have a cult or not, some of them might try to drive you off.
Understand, we'll tread lightly and not try to cause any troubles.
All right. And with that, are we going to draw a curtain over the rest of the evening?
I say yeah.
The next morning, he will send a telegram on ahead of you to Concudgery to make sure that there are some vehicles waiting for you. He asks, just to be sure, are any of you capable of driving some trucks, or are you going to need to hire drivers as well?
Birdie's pointing to Connor immediately.
Does David know how to drive at all?
Dodge considers
Connor is one of the best drivers in the world. So.
Dodge considers it for a moment. He says, "I should be able to handle it. I've driven a car back home."
Do we have anybody else in the expedition team?
Connor just tilts.
I feel like we probably hired some extra hands to help.
Connor's just tilting his head at James Lake.
I want to make sure, because we're gonna have a couple different trucks.
True.
So to have
here's
more
where
than just one or two people is gonna be ideal.
Here's where you start getting into the nitty gritty. Are you taking your whole party off into the desert?
Yeah, why not?
Considering the last couple times we've not taken the whole party off into deserts, I think it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's.
I don't mean the four of you. I mean, are you
taking? Yeah, we're talking about the full
ladies.
party.
The entire party, even the ladies. I think the two ladies that both James and Theodore have been interacting with. I can't remember their name. It's been a while.
So there's Sissy McPatrick and Virginia Ridley.
Yeah, I think those
Virginia
two
Ridley
will find it exciting.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's correct. Okay, it was Delilah Coningway and Sissy McPatrick. Those are the two young ladies who you've been... I don't know if you're going steady yet, but... There is Phyllis Barnes, who is accompanying you as the chaperone.
Yep.
She is a little bit racist against Asian people. And big gossip. There is Virginia Ridley, who is the widow. Well, widow's not exactly the right term because they weren't married; they were just engaged. But of the victim of the serial killer on board the cruise ship. Elizabeth Reed, James's mother, is still with you, still not in her right mind. Ethel Rind is the nurse you've hired to watch over her. Jean is still with you.
I think what we would end up doing is, I'd say we'd probably end up having somewhere back in the city a place for Elizabeth. You just said the nurse's name. I cannot remember.
That's all right, Ethel.
And I'll help. I'll help John. I'll leave him there to help out with any heavy lifting and alone time.
I am making a note.
And I'll leave and give the option to everybody else on if they want to join us or if they want to stay behind and stay in the city with them.
All right. I think I'm going to leave it up to Bri what Virginia does. She's becoming kind of your good friend.
I think she'd want to come with us.
Okay.
He's already witnessed the horrors.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a handy shot with a rifle.
Oh, very.
Phyllis is either going to stay here or go, depending on what the young ladies do. So, Theodore and James, are you trying to convince them to stay or go?
You convinced them to stay.
I am giving them the choice of freedom. They can either come with us or they can stay.
They can stay. We don't need to bring them into
I'll let
danger.
you convince them. I'm leaving the option to them because they seem to like excitement.
They do.
This is an exciting little adventure that we're going to be doing, and I think they might be intrigued. So I'm not going to go and dissuade them.
There's exciting and then there's scarring. You gotta remember the difference.
Oh, we don't know that there's scarring just yet until we get there.
You have enough experience at this point.
Oh, I have enough experience to know, but I'm going to leave it up to them. I'm doing this on purpose.
Okay.
Theodore will try his best to dissuade them from coming.
All right, give me your best dissuasion. What do you say?
Okay. Listen, there's a chance that we're gonna find monsters that are scarier than the ones we just seen. If you go with us,
scarier than that. Did you see it?
Yes, I seen it. I was there. I tried to hurt it. I don't think I did anything. It took down the ship. We were in a ship and it ripped it open like it was a candy wrapper.
Right. So we have seen the worst thing we're going to see.
No. There's much worse.
Theodore, if you were going to leave me behind, why didn't you do it in Sydney, where there was a nightlife?
I will pat him on the shoulder and say, "Nice try. It's not happening."
You can make a roll for it if you really want to push for it.
I think it's be funny if I fail.
This is definitely persuasion.
Persuasion. I got psychology.
I attempted on persuading them to come. I don't have to persuade them. I think
don't do persuade.
Okay.
You're trying to persuade them not to go. I would have tried to persuade them to go. After that argument that you tried to make. agreeing with them that yes, we have seen the worst. I don't think we're going to see anything worse than what we've already seen.
You're trying that reverse psychology, huh? I think Sissy and Delilah are going to insist on accompanying you. Which means that you have a piano teacher along as well. And Virginia. So you are leaving behind the enormous cultist. You're bringing some high society young women along with you.
Yep.
This is going to be fun.
We're leaving John behind because we need someone to help protect and be the heavy muscles.
Yep, you want somebody to protect Elizabeth. Let's see. I want to give. All right. Elizabeth is going to come back to herself just enough as you're taking leave of her to tell you, like, there's not much of her in there yet, but she's going to ask you to stay away from the things that took your father.
I will grab her hand and reassure her that I will make sure never to go near those.
You understand that you're lying to her, right?
I like to say that it's half of a lie because I am promising that I will come back.
Okay.
I will tell her to continue resting up and to take care of herself.
You are going to be traveling. There are 4 of you. You have 4 tag-alongs. I think you are going to need, and plus David, so you're going to need 2 trucks, I think.
Perfect. Assume when did walkie-talkies get made?
Later than this.
Later?
Yeah. 1937. So that is 12 years.
Yeah, definitely later. I was hoping it was gonna be
a few years away.
I was hoping that was gonna be a little sooner, or at least sometime during. So we had some way of being able to still communicate between the 2 trucks.
Well, just convince Connor to lose his mind a little bit and start making inventions.
No. I'll just say we'll have some kind of like little we'll do something where we'll like try to stick her hand out the window or something to kind of just, or slow down something with the trucks just to kind of inform the other one behind us that, hey, we're doing something.
Okay. The next day, you hop on the train to Concudgery. It is going to run. It is a mining town. It is actually bustling. There are a lot more people who live here than live in Port Hedland. The trip takes 8 hours, though, so you're going to arrive in the evening. It is scorching the entire way there on the train. Opening the windows does almost nothing to save you. It is absolutely miserable.
All right.
There are pubs here. You can take some time talking to people, gathering rumors. Or you can say, we want to just get out of here as quickly as possible.
I think we could listen to some rumors, maybe ask to see if anyone's seen the picture of the guy.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt. I also want to make sure that our group does have proper attire for being out in the desert. So it wouldn't hurt just to either get some clothes here, or should have said it before we left, but assume that we had some clothes before that.
This is probably a really good place to find the desert clothing you're going to want to wear.
Gotcha. Then yeah, probably stop by, get some clothes. And to help, just make it feel at least better being out here.
There is a shop in town. Mortimer, it's called Wycroft's shop. Mortimer Wycroft runs it. It is
Gotcha.
the biggest shop in town. It's got everything you could need to go on an expedition. You can see petrol tanks sitting outside. Who is going shopping? Who's going to the bar to pick up rumors?
Birdie's definitely going shopping, and apologies, I will be right back.
Okay.
Theodore will go shopping, and Victor will be gathering rumors.
Okay. Cool.
James will also be going shopping.
Why are you grabbing the not charming guy to gather rumors, Swampy?
Because I assume the ladies are gonna go over there, and like he likes the ladies. Like, can you blame him?
Okay. All right.
Thinking ahead.
I'm gonna go gather rumors too, because it's important.
Definitely not.
And I would just
keeping an eye on
assume that
Victor.
James is making sure that everybody at least has proper attire, and probably has a rough idea now, along with, of course, Birdie, on what size both Victor and Connor would be needing.
Perfect. As you walk up to the shop, there are 3 young women lounging beside the store. One of them is picking her nails with a knife. You can see one of them is pumping petrol into a truck for somebody who stopped by. The last one's just kind of sitting there gossiping with her sisters. They all kind of eye you up as you walk by. Theodore and James, how do you react to this?
I give them the same eye.
Oh, James won't react at all.
James reacts not at all. What eye are you giving them, Theodore?
Oh, it's Theodore? Oh,
Yes.
Theodore will just like... If it's Theodore, right, he's just gonna go like, hey, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, and Sissy's going to bump you.
Oh, what's the matter? They seem friendly.
Just continue walking. James will shake his head, saying, "And here, I thought I was the coolest one."
Yeah, you do that. Sissy bumps you. You get a wolf whistle from one of the other ones as you go by.
What's a wolf whistle?
Like,
I've never heard that before.
really?
Never.
You're getting catcalled.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was about to say, I feel like it's just it's the opposite.
I thought they wanted to start a fight.
No.
I misread.
Are you flirting with me, or are you trying to start a flight? Fluffy.
It's very much a cornerstone of personality.
I love
You head
that.
inside.
I do.
It is a dingy shop. You can see shelves behind this U-shaped corner stuffed with overalls, cookware, boots. There's rope, chain, heavy rope, miner's lamps, hats, underwear, arc lights, flashlights, batteries, truck parts, block and tackle, engines, engine parts, tinned food, picks, assay kits, much more. And he has a couple of catalogs sitting on the counter as well. As you step inside, a late middle-aged man is going to greet you. Say, what can I help you out with? Y'all heading into the desert?
We're just looking for some new attires to wear when we're out in the desert. We're gonna be doing an expedition.
He turns around, starts grabbing some tough shirts and coveralls and tossing them onto the counter. Says, "How many are you outfitting for?"
How many are there or how many of us are there again?
It's gonna be like 9 of you.
9?
Assuming you don't hire anybody else.
How many
Do we need to hire more people?
do we have everybody else with us? Other than Victor and Connor.
I think the women are with you.
All right.
They don't want to. Most of them are not the type to wander into a rough pub.
Yep. What about Dodge?
Yeah, he's with you.
Okay. I will say that it's us and 2 more. We'll be getting their outfits for them.
Yep. So he stacks outfits up on the counter. He says, "What are you planning to do out there? I can help recommend the equipment you're gonna need." And Dodge starts listing stuff off. He's got rope and.
Yep.
You can pull up one of the catalogs. Let's see. There, he's got cases of dynamite, blasting caps, and fuses. He's got a lot of petrol and petrol tanks you can take with you.
Dynamite, as much as you have.
We're not looking to blow up the site now.
You can't be too careful.
Although it would help in case if there's any blockage or if we get trapped.
Okay, if you get trapped, you don't want to use dynamite. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, I wasn't saying trapped on like that side. I mean like.
You understand, I usually don't ask too many questions, but if you're coming in here saying you want all the dynamite I have, I gotta ask what for specifically. That's just being a responsible retailer.
We don't need all the dynamite. I don't know what he's thinking.
We're just getting a little bit excited here.
Okay, I'll take half your stock. Is that more?
No, we're not taking half his stock.
1 crate.
You understand this is a mining town.
How much is 1 crate anyways? Just so I have an idea so I can tell him no, potentially.
I'm broke. I'm trying to get someone else to buy it.
I'm looking that up.
Like how many sticks of dynamite are in 1 crate?
Do we still have like a crate of dynamite, or did that get lost?
I mean, that was in Africa. That was a while ago.
I'm pretty sure
we
we
did not bring
used
it on
that.
the cruise ship.
I'm pretty sure we used all of that.
You did blow a lot of stuff up. There are around 50 to 100 sticks of dynamite in a crate.
We don't need that. If anything, I'd say 10 sticks might be enough. We could probably get by with 5. I don't think we need that many.
Dodge is going to say, well, are you planning to survey? To just survey the site and come back with another expedition later, or are we going to do some real work out there?
Depends on what we find. Doesn't hurt to be at least slightly prepared. That's why I said I don't think we need that many.
Well, I think it's probably
Unless
not
you
going to hurt to take a
don't
crate
think we
with
need
us.
any at all.
I think it's not going to hurt to take a crate with us.
He's not arguing.
Then, you know what? I guess we'll take a crate.
Are any of you trained with explosives?
No.
So we'll be relying on my my expertise, which is, I will admit, not extensive. We could hire a miner to come with us. Someone who would have some training.
Not a
there.
bad idea.
I'd prefer to hire an adult, but I guess. Once. Hey, you know.
For that joke, James will punch him in the arm.
Deserved.
Yeah, you end up with a large pile on the counter. You got clothes. He has one of his daughters take you out and get a case of dynamite. You've got pickaxes, you've got shovels, you've got hammers and chisels, you've got block and tackle to help you lift heavy things. You've got engine parts in case the trucks break down. You've got tinned food. You've got assay kits, flashlights and batteries, arc lights, anything special that yins want to take.
Our basics have been covered.
I think everything that we need for the expedition is pretty much covered, unless there's anything that we want specifically that is special.
A few empty crates.
Okay. Well, then you'll bring some things
If
back.
we find anything. It depends if we find anything.
So he's asking questions as you go.
He's trying to probe.
Yeah. Like, is there a new mine out there? Do you have a lead on something that I don't know about? Or what are you looking for?
I can't remember if the other two are more talky than I am, because I don't have any face skills.
This is Theodore.
Oh.
Let's say not. I think it'd be obvious. Both me and Dodge would probably go and, I'd assume, chime in and say that we're just going to be taking a look at a potential research site.
A research site out in the desert. What could you possibly be looking at out there?
Potentially ruined city. Some kind of structure. apparently from what we found in some notes. Just gonna be confirming it.
Can I try to get a read on this man to see exactly what angle he's trying to ask about? More so, like, if it's there's a new profitable thing here, or these people are kind of weird and could possibly be bad people, or trying to get a feel for his questions.
Yeah, you can make a psychology roll.
Wow.
Okay.
Just wow. I seen a 4 and then it turned to a 9.
So James could also go and make that roll.
Well, one person's made it already, so if we're gonna roll it again, it's going to be a pushed roll. As in, we need to do something that could potentially irritate him in order to get a read on the situation.
Then I'm not pushing it.
Who is?
If he doesn't actually say anything,
I will.
that makes
Yeah,
me
I knew
question
one
it,
of yous would.
I was going to. I was just waiting for a moment. So I can't read it, right? And I'm like, okay, I gotta fish something out of him. Why so many questions? Are you interested in this, or like, what's your deal? I'll take it.
Yeah, okay. You succeed. So, when you ask that, he shifts tactics a bit. And he says, listen, there's nothing. There are no structures out in the desert. There's nothing around here but aborigines. They don't build nothing. They just kind of live in their little huts and they move on. If there were something out in the desert, I don't think you should go looking for it. I think it might turn out to be real dangerous for you.
Did that seem threatening?
Yeah.
I will ask him if he could explain, like, a little bit more on why he feels like that.
There
What are
are
you
funny
saying?
stories about things that happen out in the desert. I've heard stories about a ghost out there. There's a man named Bill Buckley. Headed out to some place called Dingo Falls because he convinced himself there was a drift of gold out there. He never came back here. But folks claim that they see him out there sometimes.
How long ago did he go out there?
Somewhere around 20 years ago. It's a dangerous place out in the desert. And if you want to stay healthy, white men don't head out there. There's stories about cannibals carve their teeth sharp and use their clawed hands to stalk and eat white men.
We'll keep that in mind then.
Yeah, I think you should. I think you should keep it well in mind and maybe search for your lost city somewhere else. And as you are unless you want to push him more or ask him any other questions, you can wrap up your conversation and head out with your purchases.
I think we'll wrap it up and head out with our purchases.
Yeah, when you do that, he follows you to the door, and he calls out to his daughters, who are the 3 young ladies who are outside. He calls them into the store and closes the door.
I will, I'll look at the rest and just say, thoughts and opinions on what he said?
Well, he's either gonna tell someone about this and everyone's gonna know, or he was just trying to be genuinely nice and give us that warning. It seemed a little threatening, though.
A little?
Just a little.
He seems like a nice guy.
Speaking of which,
Oh, yeah,
down at the
okay.
pub.
I'm really looking forward to him introducing me to that cannibal later.
Connor and Victor, how are you going about getting information?
The typical, I am going to be paying for drinks and having a great time. And I'm going to just be talking about the area.
Alright, yeah, it was evening when you got here, so I assume the pub is going to be pretty full. Yeah, if you're buying drinks, you don't need to make a roll. You will get warnings that there are deadly snakes out in the desert. You got to be real careful here, not like back where you're from.
Yeah, where I'm from, they drove the snakes out of there.
You hear about let's see. You hear there are some drovers who brought in cattle over at the canning stock route who swear that something the size of a bear took some of their stock about a year ago.
A bear?
Something the size of a bear.
Oh, okay.
Not a bear. There aren't bears here.
There's drop bears, though. Gotta be careful for those.
One of them will tell you, no, you would do if there was trees around here.
Ooh.
I see. I have heard about these things. They're scary.
Now, do you want to direct the conversation in a certain area?
So we have a picture of a dude who supposedly went looking for this place.
All right. Yeah,
I'll see if there's any. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, you can show the photo, and they'll say, "Hey, that's that John Carver fellow."
John Carver?
Yeah,
Or not
that's
John Carver.
He's he was doing surveys and diggings along the canning stock route, out on the eastern side of the Great Sandy Desert.
Did he ever come back?
Can't say as I've seen him recently, but he came to town. He went out there, came to town a few times.
When's the last time you seen him?
A couple months ago. Yeah, I think there's some argument about whether or not he was involved in the big mining disaster.
Big mining disaster? What happened there?
I mean, officially nothing happened. The company paid off the politicians and the whole thing got hushed up. But there were some 25 men killed. And
25 men just don't get killed.
That was Derby Dave, wasn't it? And one of those, yeah, Derby Dave was one of them. And I'll tell you, it's a fellow, Derby Dave the Welshman. Like your man here. You're Welsh, aren't you? He's talking to Connor.
Is that to Connor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a Welshman? Is that what he called me?
Yeah.
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 Just let me know if
sure.
we're starting a fight.
Yeah.
Hey, he's
Connor, we'll roll with it. Yeah, fine, whatever.
He was the only Welshman we had around here till now. He used to do some work over for Mortimer, but not no more.
A shame. We would have so much to talk about.
I'm sure. You sing like he did? We haven't heard any of his songs in a while now, since he died and all.
No? What kind of songs?
Well, I guess Welsh songs. I didn't understand a word of them.
I'm just gauging if, like, this guy actually knows anything that whatever they're trying to say sounds like.
Okay, give me a psychology roll.
Oh god, that is a toughie. But I'm rolling it because, like, you're gonna try in real life in this situation. Where is psychology? Psychology. Aha. I might spend luck on that.
Okay.
I will spend luck on that.
All right. This fellow knows damn well you're not Welsh. You're getting bullied.
Ah, okay. I was like, yeah. Yeah, so I am going to play along with it and just not care now that I know that I'm being messed with. Yeah.
That's entirely valid. Are you? Do you just go along, like you just accept it? Do you give something back? Like,
oh,
you don't have to
yeah.
escalate.
I am. What I will do is, like, make jokes that oh yeah, us Welsh people, and joke around like that, and then every now and then, like, poke and prod, kind of reference them in a way that calls them English but doesn't say it outright.
Okay. So you're going to mish nationality them as well, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Look, if you don't want to start a banter, do not start a banter.
The way you're doing this, I think I want a charm roll.
Charm? Absolutely. And... Oh.
Okay. You are the darling of the pub. Like, this goes back and forth a few times, and before you know it, you're not the one buying drinks anymore. You're getting pounded on the back.
Hey!
People are bantering with you, thoroughly enjoying themselves as you give better than you get. And it's all good-natured.
Oh, yeah. If I don't leave this place known as the Welshman, I am going to be upset.
Okay. You will hear a bit about that that ghost fellow as well. There's a ghost been seen up near Dingo Falls. That it has passed its hand straight through somebody's body. They tell you that it was Mad Ginger Muldoon who told this story. There were 3 huge birds seen about 2 weeks ago. The guy who saw them says that they must have been about 20 feet across at the wing. He took a few shots at them, tried to bag them, but they were too far out of range. Yeah, you hear stories. A couple of these people remember McWhirr, the man who died of influenza. A few years ago, he was here claiming that he found big squared off blocks of stone out in the desert. He bought drinks for the whole pub to prove he was telling the truth. And one old fellow is going to claim that he has been in an underground city somewhere in the desert himself. That there are ways in and out of it, but the sand is shifting constantly, so it's hard to tell where you're going to find one of the entrances, and that there are evil things inside of the city.
Interesting. I will say, care to describe said evil things?
I do not care to, sir.
I understand. So, yeah, I'm just gonna slide him a drink, because,
Yeah.
real recognizes real. We both know that we've seen stuff now.
So the two of you can close down the bar if you want to.
Yeah.
You are going to be, you're going to be remembered. You stick around here for a few days, or if you ever come back, you're going to have friends here.
Oh, yeah.
Were we able to get any more information about the mine at all? The whole accident?
Nobody knows a whole lot. They will tell you that the whole thing started when a crazy American bloke took a crew of 24 men into the bush, had them dig a shaft about 30 feet deep, told them to stop, gave them a big bonus, and sent them all to Darwin to collect their pay. This was some time ago. It seems to be related to the big mining disaster. But not like the same incident. Like, some crazy American bloke, which is going to they will identify that as John Carver. After he was doing some surveys and exploratory diggings, he hired a bunch of people, took them out in the desert, paid them off really well for digging just 30 feet down. And separately, there was a big mining disaster that nobody knows what caused it, but 25 men were killed, including a local boy, and it's all been covered up.
Interesting.
If you are interested in the ghost story, the man who saw the ghost is here in the pub tonight. If you're not interested in the ghost story, you don't have to pursue it.
I think that's a wonderful thing to pursue.
All right.
We'll be closing up here soon, won't we?
We will be. We can
I think
either
we
do
could
this...
pick it up.
Okay.
What's that?
Do you want to pick up
Right.
with the ghost
Oh.
story next time then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that because Bry is not doing so good right now. So
Yup.
Absolutely fair.
I'm taking
Thank
the
you for
chance
letting
to
me
call
know.
it there. Yeah.
Thanks for
My
playing
mind's been a
tonight,
little
everybody.
slippery today.
Well, we've
Yeah.
been
Thank you
off
for running.
for a while. It's good to
Absolutely.
get back into it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I got to get back into the skin of Connor.
Yeah.
Back into the mindset.
I mean, you did good. You rolled a 1.
I mean, yeah. Whenever I act like Connor, I do well on rolls. I have to like channel that mentality. Act like the character and you get good rolls.
Sometimes that's how you figure out who a character is.
Yeah.
All right. Anything to say before we drop off?
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Have a good night.